I need to tell you something. I know I look rough. I'm tired. I don't feel great. Story time. I went to the cinema to watch Akira, subtitled. Every other time I've watched it, and I've watched it umpteen times at this point, so it's been exciting. But with the way the world is at the moment, things were hitting too close to home in that film. Like, there were far too many coincidences all happening in that one film, so you're a bit uneasy. I never thought that I would watch Akira at the cinema and have that reaction to it, ever, which was strange. So there's my little review on that. Fucking shit myself. I didn't shit myself, but you know what I'm getting at. Like, I don't know, it. The film has never put me on edge before. It fucking did in the cinema. Anyway, we left the cinema, went to go to the toilet. Mum waited outside, she didn't need it. I seen two girls walk in, young girls. They were both like tittering between each other with their hands like this, like that, and giggling. Just general girl stuff. And I didn't think much of it. And they bypassed all these toilets and went to other ones. But again, I didn't think out of it, because usually we like to go to the furthest one that we can find, away from the door. Anyway, I went to the first toilet because I'm a grown up, you see. I don't need to go to the very end anymore. You do when you're young. You try and go as far away as possible. So I went to the first one that were open. And I looked in there, and it were absolutely rammed, blocked, full of shit. And I was like, that's fucking disgusting. I can't do that. Right? I'm not pissing on a shit. I'm not pissing on somebody else's shit. Right? And then being blamed for blocking it when it weren't even mine. Get fucked. So I come out and I walked straight into the next one, and I just happened to look in, and it were blocked full of shit. And I'm like, that can't be real. That's not true. And I come out and I'm like, this is getting stupid. And I went into the next one. These are all next to each other. And I went into the next one. And I was like, no way. And there were another shit blocking the toilet, right? And I'm like, and it weren't like full turds. Obviously, people have been trying to flush it and they were bog roll and stuff, but it were like poopy bog roll with poopy smears and poop on the bowl and like, well, it was full of shit and tissue. You know what I mean? I've just done 3 consecutive toilets full of blocked up shit, right? And I'm like, I just want to piss. So I go in the very next one, right? Fourth one, all next to each other. And I walk in. And there another blocked up toilet full of shit. And I went, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not doing it. I don't need the toilet anymore. I walked out and I'm like, is there no other toilets? Is there no other toilets? And then I clicked why those girls were laughing, and they'd walked all the way to end and bypassed them all. They'd obviously seen all that shit and been laughing, and then they'd heard me going, no way. And there was someone in the toilet, the first toilet, the very first one. And they were in there from the beginning. They were in there before me. All the girls walked in. And I'm thinking now I'm thinking about it now, maybe they're the ones doing the dirty deeds. Maybe they're the ones blocking all the toilets full of shit. Anyway, I could clearly hear the girls laughing at me, right, in toilets. And I were laughing, right? And I walked out and I went, Mum, I am not going in there. That is not even, you don't know what I just seen. And she goes, all right, if we're not going, let's go. She'd had a busy day, right? She'd had a full day out before she even come to the cinema, so she was knackered. She just wanted to go. She didn't care what I had to say. But at that point, I could not comprehend the amount of shitty bogs I had just been in. And I went, Mum, you don't understand. And there were like loads of men standing round. Men that had come out at the cinema, same cinema as us. All these nerds, right? All these nerds watching Akira. These lads. And they're all stood there. And I couldn't get me way. I tried to tell her. I tried to tell my mum. And she's going, no, let's just go, let's go. And I'm like, listen. Right? And I tried to tell her, but the words wouldn't come out. And I just burst out laughing. And my eyes were streaming. And I couldn't walk because I couldn't see. Because I couldn't open my eyes. And I couldn't breathe, right? And I was aware that all these nerdy boys were laughing around me, right? Wondering what the fuck were wrong with me. And I ended up leaning up against railing. Or barrier or whatever it is that blocks you off from food coffee place, just to steady myself because I couldn't breathe, I couldn't see. I was laughing so bad. And Mum turned around and she like stopped. She realised that I weren't walking, and she stopped and she turned around. And she's like, what's going on? What's up? I'm like, just give me a minute. And then I managed to breathe, and I turned around and went, Mum, I have all those toilets in there are blocked full of packed shit, right? That's why I can't wee. I said, I've never seen so much shit in all my life, right? Bearing in mind I'm screaming this whilst I'm still laughing, right? I've never seen so much shit. Why are the workers leaving it like that? Where are women meant to go? To the toilet when they're full of shit? Why is no one cleaning the shit? I don't know, the boys behind me, obviously they clicked what was, so now everyone in the cinema knows what the problem is. And I get in the car with Mum. Like, Mum, I've worked in some places. Mum knows I worked at the Nag. She knows I worked at the pub. She knows the stories that I come home with from there, right? I haven't even gone into them yet. I'm still going to do that. And she goes, we got in the car. And I was still laughing. And she goes, Stevie. She goes, you did the right thing. And I'm like, what do you mean? She goes, you did the right thing, not going to the toilet in there. I'm like, why? What is she talking about? And she goes, well, if you'd have peed on it, then everyone would have thought it were yawn and that you'd have done it. And I'm like, well, that's exactly what I thought. That's why I left. And that's why I shouted in the cinema. It's not my shit. I didn't do 4 shits. Bro, I'm not that fast. I was running out there in less than a minute after I'd seen them. Less than a minute. I walked in. Toilet. I'm done. No, that's not happening. I'm not dropping no cakes for nobody. No. That's the first time I've been to the cinema and seen that much shit. And everyone else knew. And the young girls saw it as well. And I think that person in that cubicle that were in there before we got in there and didn't come out, I think they did it. And they were hiding. That's what I think. I think they got bad problems, bad bowel problems, probably because they had too many nachos at the cinema. I've never had that happen before. Also, when we left our chairs, I noticed it halfway through the film, but Mum didn't notice till after. Halfway, at the end of the film, as we were leaving, Mum happened to look down to where these 2 lads were sat, and there was like fucking shit ton of popcorn everywhere. And she was like, what the fuck's happened there? I'm like, Mum, didn't you see it happen? She's like, what? I'm like, I don't know, he had this weird jolt like this, and fuck it, I don't know what happened to him. No, happened on screen for it. I think maybe he slipped his box or something and fucking lobbed, and it was a massive box of popcorn and all, one of them really big ones. And like that. Jolted it everywhere and it went everywhere. She goes, oh, I missed it. She goes, where's all the workers? Why is no one cleaning? Do you know that's a valid point? They didn't clean in the cinema. Normally they're in there waiting to clean. There was no one there. And then I go in the toilet and they shit in there. 4 shits. 4 separate shits. And no one in there cleaning them. Never had that happen. One of the weirdest experiences of my life. Never thought I'd have that reaction to that film. Ever. At the cinema. And be scared. Ever. Never seen cinema as empty as that, especially with no cleaners. Never seen 4 shits. And also they played one advert before the film really loud to the point where eardrums were ready to burst. And it was a Bollywood advert, so I couldn't even understand words anyway. I didn't even know what were going off. They were a playing card. He had a playing card. It were badass with a playing card and some blood. And it were about ready for blasting my tables off. So that's all I've got to tell you. If you manage to get through this, you're welcome. You know. And this video will stay here forever because the internet is endless, infinite. And someone's going to find it one day. And they will know about the 4 shits that I didn't wee on. I didn't. I did the right thing. And I didn't.